Guys, I'm back, and I have a book haul for you. Of course I do, because I can't stop getting cool books. Where to begin? It's been a little bit since I've seen you. It's been about a month since my last book haul. Um, I'm getting a tattoo for my brother. I know this is completely random, but I think you book lovers will enjoy seeing this. I've been working on this with my brother for a couple months now. Actually, more like 6 months. He's been working on designs, and we finally started working on it. But we did this top like half, uh, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And then we just started working on this bottom half of my bicep like 5 days ago. So this is fresh. But anyway, thought you guys might like that. I think it's cool. I certainly do. I love Lord of the Rings. Um, if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know I'm a big Lord of the Rings nerd. I don't think I have any Lord of the Rings to show off today, but just hold off and we'll see. I got a couple boxes here of some stuff I've got from bookshops and from thrift stores recently, and then a couple of unopened whatnot orders from my friends Zigzagoon and um, Mustang, Jonathan, over at Stringer Than Fiction. I'll link all their channels down below. I appreciate both of them for just they got great shows, great fun, and great books. So let's start. What do I? Let's open some boxes. I've had these sitting here since yesterday, just ready to film a video. I, like many of you that probably order books, maybe forget what I ordered. um, I vaguely remember a few things, but most of the time when I get in these shows, I just am having fun, and I don't know. I'm just picking up stuff that along the way, kind of like shopping at a bookshop, that just catches my eye. It could be anything from stuff I'm actually looking for to stuff that I just think looks neat. And so, starting off from Zig, we have Dawn number 46, King of Argent by John T. Philippant. A pretty, I'd really never really seen this one. Um, yeah, Dawes, the top 100 Dawes, not top 100, first 100, I should say, Dawes that were printed like less than I learned this from Zig than a bunch of the other DAW printings, the later DAW printings. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of slowly but surely compile the first 100. I think they're cool to collect. Maybe. Excuse me. I'm all stuffed up, like probably plenty of you guys are. We had that crazy snowstorm like a week or two ago, and it was just nuts. And so I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably are dealing with colds and whatnot. And speak of the devil, I already mentioned that me being a big fan of Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, and here is the Languages of Middle Earth. Uh, I don't really know much about this, and it's in not great shape, but it's nice and floppy. We love the flop. I'll probably open this months from now when I dig back into Lord of the Rings again for the umpteenth time and want to know something about Elvish. I don't know. In fact, I've got Elvish on my arm. Um, so that's Elvish. Yeah. Look at me. I'm supposed to be. Yeah. I'm a nerd about Lord of the Rings, but then, you know, I don't know the languages that well. So this is a Ballantine adult fantasy called Golden Cities Far, edited by Lynn Carter. I don't really know what's in this, but it's gorgeous. And again, slowly but surely, um, I'm collecting these Ballantine adult fantasies. This has stuff from. I don't really know what this is. Just taking a gander here. There's some interesting, like, I think stuff from other authors here that I don't really recognize, but it's all edited by Lynn Carter. Yeah, seems cool. If I ever get into a real deep fantasy kick, get into that. I realize I'm going very slow, so yeah. I don't remember this one. Oh, Zig ran a giveaway, and I got this one. This is The Listeners by James Gunn. I was like, I don't have any recollection of this. Yeah, know zero about this, but cool book. The project waited for the message that might put an end to Earth. Nice. Looks neat. All right, what else is in this box? I see our Silverberg at the top. That's always a good sign. I love Robert Silverberg. Probably like a lot of you guys. If you're watching my channel for any amount of time, we probably have very similar author interests. And that's why one of the many reasons I love you guys is we share this love for old books, old science fiction specifically. This one looks like a pretty beat up copy of Needle in a Time Stack, which I don't know if I own. I don't think I do. This isn't necessarily a collector's copy that I'm gonna. There's the whole section that's like shredded down here at the bottom, but a beautiful old vintage Valentine, and yeah, it's gonna be my new reader copy. Michael Moorcock's The Rune Staff in a UK. You can just kind of tell if you've handled a lot of these old science fiction books what's UK and what's not. And this is a Mayflower, and that is in Aylesbury Bucks. I don't know what that means, and I don't really know much about this Moorcock. I just know there's a Rune Staff history, and that is the final installment. Oh, another Moorcock, The Revenge of the Rose, in the more modern Elric art. Ace. Elric, I've read the first two Elric books. They were both wonderful, and I, for some reason, kind of fizzled out on the third one. I guess I just never started it. There were some other things on my TBR I wanted to get to. But Elric will be read. Those are really fun books, and I think that they deserve a lot of attention and praise. As someone who loves Lord of the Rings and has always loved that, I feel like it's a really different, dark vintage fantasy, like old timey fantasy that just has an air about it that is, it has a unique distinction from Lord of the Rings as far as like a fantasy world, the characters, the motivations of those characters. I don't know. It's interesting. This is a vintage Recalled to Life by Silverberg. The Lancer. Limited edition Lancer. It's real tight, but it's not in the best of condition. 1958. That's cool. I didn't realize it was that old. I have a X library over there in hardcover that's, it's a good reader. But yeah, I compile all the Silverbergs. Oh, and last but not least, another Silverberg. Master of Life and Death in the Avon with that beautiful red text block. Just freaking gorgeous. I haven't read as much Silverberg as I guess I want to. I've only read Downward to the Earth and World Inside. I think those are the only two. But I have a lot of Silverberg on my shelf that is just waiting to be read. He's easy to collect because he was so prolific, but his covers are just so good, and I don't know. He's just a great writer. And now, let's open up another box. This is from Jonathan over at, he has, I guess, 2 channel titles. His YouTube is Stringer Than Fiction. Great YouTube channel. He does a lot of hauls and a lot of book reviews, and he also sells books on Whatnot, and that's where these came from. So shout out to Jonathan. I've been meaning to pop into one of his shows, and look at this great packaging. There's one book in here I know that I've been extremely excited to get for quite some time, and I've been on the lookout for it, and I had to pay up in the auction for it, and you'll see why. But this, I don't really remember this much. This was a giveaway. Paul Anderson, The Corridors of Time. It's kind of cool. I have not read Paul Anderson other than maybe a story in Dangerous Visions if he's in there. I get him and Frederick Pohl mixed up. Pohl and Pohl, you know. And maybe that's stupid, but I don't know. I can't keep them straight. This is, I love this cover. Holy cow. Wow. An old Dell, The Downstairs Room by Kate Wilhelm. I have never seen this Kate Wilhelm. And I have not read her yet, but I'm really like she's near the top of the authors that I haven't tried yet. Um, I mean, look at it. I hope you can see that cover. I believe it's in frame. It's probably hopefully zoomed in enough. Heel text block. It's hard to see it probably through the baggie, but that's just it's so good. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. A movie I have still not seen, but know the significance of. And, I love 2001 A Space Odyssey. I have that up here somewhere by Arthur C. Clarke. This is one that, it might get read down the road. I think it probably will be. But yeah, I really enjoy this like bright orange. I don't know. That book, that vintage copy spoke to me a little bit. Maybe I want to get it. This is, I really didn't know much about this one when I grabbed it, but it I think is a cyberpunk from the 90s. Pretty evidently looks late 80s, 90s. Walter John Williams, Angel Station in the tour. Yeah, it's most definitely like I said, like I'm guessing like 88 or 91 maybe. Maybe I'm a little bit late, but yeah. Super tight, really nice copy. And Cyberpunk, I have I have several William Gibsons right there. I have several over there on my other shelf, and he just keeps speaking to me. Like I really want to return to some Cyberpunk. Um, Here's the book that I've been waiting to show. That I was super excited to receive. Robert Silverberg's The Book of Skulls. I was going to say A Book of Skulls. The Book of Skulls. One that I've heard talked about on this corner of the internet a decent amount, and one that like this cover specifically, I'm just like this is one of my favorite books I own now. I mean, I don't know what he's got in store in this one, but I think this is going to get read pretty soon. So keep on the lookout if you're interested in that uh, review. Two more in this box, I think. Speaking of being confused about Poul Anderson and Frederick Pohl, this is the best of Frederick Pohl. I really, really like these Valentine. Um, you know, some of them are Valentine, some of them are Del Rey, but it's just the best of collections. Uh, I really like how they look on the shelf. I really like. I read a little bit of them. I started opening up the Henry Kuttner not that long ago, and short stories just flourish in science fiction. I should say science fiction flourishes in short story form. It's a better way of saying it. And then finally, another Kate Wilhelm. This is Where Late the Sweet Birds Sang. I have a hardcover of this. I have a hardcover of this, and I just really like this cover, and the pocketbooks edition just I think is cool. So now I have both. I have a paperback and a hardcover, and this will be read again soon. I hope. I say that, and then I don't get the books for months, but you all know how it is. All right, couple more boxes. I'm going to try to kind of get through these, move a little bit. I ordered some from Mr. Book Report, who I have talked about before, who I really enjoy buying from as well on Whatnot. I'll link him down below as well. This is sick. He had this in the buy now, and I couldn't say no. A Philip K. Dick Daw. These are not very common. This is Flow My Tears, the Policeman Said. If you're curious about that one, Sam, that's my dog, sorry. He's whining. You got to stay, okay? You got to stay in here for right now. Don't look at me like that. I was in the middle of talking about Dick. Sorry about that. I anytime the Philip K. Dick comes up, I gotta make a joke. This is Flow My Tears, the policeman said. I have reviewed this on the channel. So if you're looking for my review on that, scroll back a couple of months. I reviewed this sometime over the summer, and much more modern. I think I have it in I have it in Masterworks, but I found it in DAW, and I love DAWs, so very cool. This is called The Leaves of Time by Neil Barrett Jr. This was definitely a cover by, because like, look at that. What the heck is that? It's such good art. A really old Lancer that is in what seems to be pretty good shape. Spine's not great, but I mean, just a gorgeous book. I have not read Neil Barrett Jr., but I've seen him pop up from time to time. This is really cool. This is a 19, I believe, I want to say 52. I'm not going to get it out of the bag to check, but it's a Brave New World from Bantam? Bantam? Yes, a Bantam Giant. Sorry, I'm just reading it. It's beat to crap. I think it's got quite a bit of water damage or just severe page drying out, like pages drying out and stuff. It's hanging on by a thread, but a really cool like artifact, relic. I don't know what you would call this. Just a really cool piece of I guess literary history. Um, I'll read like a more mass market, like contemporary version if I go back to this book again. I've read it once, but I just thought it was cool. I Book Report gave me a good deal on it, and yeah, it's a neat book. This is Aliens versus Predator: Hunter's Planet by David Bischoff. I think I showed these in the last haul video, but I got a set of these Aliens books and Alien versus Predator books, and I think these will become kind of like my, wow, I'm going to use this term, beach reads, because they're just so. I've not even read them, but I love the Aliens universe, and I think, I mean, Predator is pretty sweet too, but these like 90s like world building, just from like some actual science fiction writers put these together. I'm curious if there's any like substance to them or if they're just good, good fun in the Aliens universe. But yeah, I think these are fun, and I'm gonna keep collecting them here and there. This I got. I think I have maybe a paperback copy of Again Dangerous Visions, edited by Harlan Ellison. But this is the hardcover book club edition with a really really pretty interior. I mean, Book Report always puts his books in Mylar and just keeps them very nice. I have this to pair with my first Dangerous Visions copy, and I had to get this to go on the shelf next to it, because I'm really finding that this is such a good collection that I'm gonna probably move right onto this, and I'm gonna take my time with these. I read like a story every week, maybe every 2 weeks, and a couple maybe if I get going. But there's so many good authors in this. You have, I'll just name a few that I know are great. I mean, Thomas Dish, um, Ursula Le Guin, Kurt Vonnegut's in here, Gene Wolfe, Joanna Russ is in here. I mean, many more. M. John Harrison, uh, K.M. O'Donnell, which is Barry Malzberg. There's some fantastic writers in this collection and in that collection as well. And I just think this is a really cool book. Another piece of history, I think, that shaped the science fiction genre. I went to a local bookstore and I found what I would say are some pretty good finds, especially for the price I paid, because I really didn't spend much on this entire stack right here. Let's start with the paperbacks. And I found a Timescape, I believe first Timescape printing. So maybe not first printing, but a really cool Adventures of Alex by Joanna Russ. This cost me a whopping $1.25, and it's clean. Got a little bit of marking top, but pretty clean and a beautiful book. That was really cool. I found the Stormlord. I'm gonna be. I guess it's fine. Tanith Lee, who's awesome, rocks. A really pretty nice copy of Tanith Lee's first printing of the Stormlord in DAW. A relatively clean spine as well. So that's gonna look really cool sitting on the shelf. I will read Tanith Lee again soon as well. How many books have I said that about in this haul? 3 or 4. Oh, that'll get read soon. 6 months passes. It's still sitting on that stack. Yeah. Lee rocks. She's cool. This is A Spectre is Haunting Texas by Fritz Leiber. Lieber. I don't know. However you pronounce it. It's a book that I've just seen pop out here and there. I've not really read any Leiber. I think maybe the last story I read in here was Leiber. Or maybe the next story I have in Dangerous Visions is Fritz Leiber. But anyway, this was cool, and it just cost me like I think it was $2. And then I got to the checkout counter, and behind them, they had some really expensive stuff. And I happened to look up and see this book, and I asked, I was like, "Can I see that?" And I flipped through it, and it's not mint, but it's in really good condition, and it's another Philip K. Dick Daw. This one is The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. I'll pull this one out for you so you can take a look. Like I said, it's got some little bit of wear on the edges and stuff, but like real clean spine, beautiful cover. The spine's still yellow. First DAW printing, 1983. So a book I've never seen before, and a book that you just don't come across very often. And so I ended up using a gift card I got during Christmas that I had saved for quite a while on that, and felt pretty good about it because they knew what they had. But like Sam, no, he's just knocking over books over here. What? Don't do that. Don't paw at my books. Come here. Come over here. You want to say hi to the camera? Come here. Okay, maybe not. He's acting a little. He wants to leave. My family's outside the door, and he hears them and wants to go out there. But he's not allowed out there right now because he's getting into trouble. All right, I got some hardcovers. We'll keep rocking. I think this is going to be a relatively long haul, so it'll be fine. This is Epic. Yeah, Epic. I hate pronouncing that word out loud because I can say it in my head and it sounds right. Epoch, Epic. You know what I'm saying. It's edited by Roger Elwood and Robert Silverberg. It's got stuff from Jack Vance, Niven, Simic, Harry Harrison, Le Guin, Lafferty, Malsberg, Wilhelm, Joanna Russ. Just a rock solid lineup. This was a book club in really good shape. I think it was a $5 hardback. So when you do that, when you go shopping and something's $5, just like this, you buy it. Because this is the first. I think this is the first. Let's see where I have a Book of the New Sun in this same by this same printing. This same. I'm gonna say printing company. This same publisher. This is the first science fiction book club science fiction printing. February 1998, reissued in 2005. So maybe this is a reissue. I don't know. But it's Jack Vance's The Demon Princes. Now, I have a 2-volume set of like trade paperbacks, I think from Orb, that are pretty cool that I got from a library book sale. So I now have quite a few of The Demon Princes in various editions. I don't know whether I'm going to sell this or keep it, or I don't know. I think it's pretty neat. And again, I got it for $5. So that was cool. All right, let's get through these. This is I think book club. Yep, book club of James Blish's Midsummer Century. Pretty sure I have this in DAW, but still just a gorgeous cover. This was $3. and well worth the $3. This is cool. This is Dinosaur Beach. It is not a book club edition. This is something I haven't really seen before. Somebody tell me it says it's a Scribner's, but it's in really good shape. Um, and yeah, I think that the cover is like actually freaking cool. It's weird and like doesn't. It's like a weird like art style that you don't see very often, but I've seen lots of talk of Dinosaur Beach and finally found my vintage copy. So there's that. Best of John W. Campbell. I already have this in a Mylar wrapped, really nice book club edition. But again, this was like, I think 3, maybe 5. I didn't pay any more than 5 for these hardcovers a piece. And I'm either going to sell this on, give this to somebody who loves the thing, or, you know, but I have this same exact copy. And it contains, if you're not aware, uh, it contains a a short story in here, about 50-page short story called "Who Goes There," as you can see on the cover art. That was the inspiration for The Thing, the movie, the John Carpenter film. That is maybe my top 5 films of all time. Definitely my favorite like horror film. It's, if you call it that, it's great. This is James Blish's Any When. I really like the cover, the title. This isn't a book club either. It's a double day. Wonder, when they started putting, oh, it's a first edition. Even says in there. Cool. That's neat. Short stories by Mr. James Blish, who I'm also reading right now. I forgot to mention, Case of Conscience is being read right now, so that's cool. This, aesthetically, I think is gorgeous, but it also has some really good writers in it. This is SF12, Imaginative Fiction, edited by Judith Merrill. It's got Burroughs, Leiber, Thomas Dish, Samuel Delaney, J.G. Ballard. It's got R.A. Lafferty. Got some really good writers in here. Aldis, Bob Shaw. Yeah. And this is a Delacorte Press. First printing 1968. Very clean. So some great hardcovers. And we'll wrap up with this box of randos that I got recently. I think I just hit the tripod. Hopefully I'm still in focus. Again, at a local bookshop. I think this one was my Half Price Books haul that I just happened to stop by after work one day. I have this in slightly worse condition, so this will probably be taking its place. This is not in great condition either. I just reviewed a Zelazny, so I found this and we'll probably be reading some short stories of his soon. It is The Doors of His Face, The Lamps of His Mouth, and Other Stories. Really, really like the gray and pink. I think it's gorgeous. Very, very cool cover. I don't know. It's like very Dune-esque. Looks like a Dune Messiah kind of cover. Sam, you're gonna have to wait, buddy. I'm almost finished. He's he's giving me a look, just like, why won't you let me out? This is The Green Brain by Frank Herbert. Speaking of Dune, man, very serendipitous little segues from Lord of the Rings into a Lord of the Rings book earlier, and now Dune mentioned right into Dune. This is a timescape from Pamela Sargent called The Golden Space, in really good shape. I don't know much about this book or Pamela Sargent, but it's in great shape. It's a timescape, bars, and it's a first printing. And I don't know. I think Pamela Sargent is somebody I've heard mention of and would like to read at some point. I don't know much about this either, but beat up and was, I think, $1. Robert Anton Wilson's Schrodinger's Cat, Volume 1 is cosmic fun. Do come if you're curious. Leave this world that's truly spurious. I don't know. It's telling you, I know nothing about this, but it looks fun. And there's another cat on the inside. Nice. This is another SF Rediscovery that they priced at $3. which I was like, okay. I know this isn't like some sought after SF rediscovery, but it's in perfect condition, I'd say, pretty much. The Winds of Time by Chad Oliver that I will be adding. I'm looking up there. Yep, I don't have this one. I will be adding to my slowly growing stack of these that I think are great reading copies, actually. Like the trade paperback size of these is really good and good for reading, and it's a comfortable book to hold in your hand. Um, but this is my one, two, three. This is my sixth, so I got lots more to go. But that one's pretty cool. I have one of these, but it's in like a weird X library sleeve. Like they put like a weird like plastic. It's like the dust jacket's plastic. It's not this. Um, so I don't know. I'm gonna trade this one out for that one and probably sell the other one. But Best of Henry Kuttner. I've read the first story in this, and it's very very good. I can't believe I hadn't read Kuttner. Um, it's book club, but it's very cool, and I like that little charming little guy on the front, little alien guy. He's just having a good time, just having a drink. This is the Best of Frederick Brown, edited by Robert Bloch. A terrifying, abominable snowman? Question mark. Really cool, weird art in this hardcover book club edition. I don't really know much about Frederick Brown, but um, I have read a couple of Robert Bloch stories. He's cool. So if he's got an edited, if he's the one that edited that and did some introductions, I'm interested. Final little pile. I found these in a free bin, I think. Uh, yeah, it was outside of a thrift store. The Revenants by Sherry Tepper. I know nothing about these three books. Well, I know a little bit about one of them. And then I don't know what this is, but I thought it was interesting to pick up, maybe to either give away or sell at some point. But it's a beat up choose your own adventure called The Time Machine 15. I think it's a Byron Press, and it's got gigantic text. So I would almost think it's like a YA choose your own adventure or something. It's neat. And then this more modern ace, Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein. I'll get back to him for you guys, for you few apologists of Robert Heinlein. I know I probably made you guys mad when I didn't like the book I read by him, but I'll get back to him eventually. Give him another try. I just don't think Golden Age sci-fi is necessarily my favorite, and he specifically writes some more like, you know, like military SF, and he just didn't rub me the right way the first time. So I'll get back to him. Here's a weird one that will not be read, but will probably be sold. A Planet in Arms by Donald Barr. If you know, you know. Um, gross. I think, yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It was $3. They marked it down from the initial. They had it at 20, and then they put a sticker over top that said 3, and I was like, nice. Was not about to buy this for $20, but for $3, and then probably reselling it to anybody who's trying to collect his books. It was a good deal. Robert L. Forward's Flight of the Dragonfly. I read Robert L. Forward this summer. I read Dragon's Egg. And I actually didn't even look. Is this? I don't think this is a sequel or of any kind. Anyway, he was some hard sci-fi that I had really never read before. Hard sci-fi is just maybe not my thing either. But I really enjoyed Dragon's Egg. I thought for not really understanding a lot of the mathematical and physics related things, he was a good writer. It was cool. This is another Dawn number 372. CJ Cherry's The Fated Sun, Katoth. I love the cover. It's like Desert Ninjas or something. I don't know. Sick cover. This has got to be some kind of Dune influenced thing. Neato. And then finally, we'll end with a great book, a Del Rey Blade Runner movie tie-in. This is actually a First Ballantine Books edition, May 1982. The one that I read many months ago is this one that has a green little guy, green little Rick Deckard, and it's a seventh printing. So I'm going to swap this out for this nicer and earlier printing of the red one, and somebody can have this if they would like in one of my upcoming whatnot auctions. I know, I know. I've been saying that for months now. I've never had a whatnot auction. I have accumulated enough now. I think that I need to start selling. So some books will probably be listed on eBay at some point. Some books will probably be, shown in my whatnot. I'll figure it out. I'm busy, and I also want to do it the right way when I do sell on there. So if you're interested in any of that, just stay tuned. I'll get to that at some point soon. It's been a long book haul. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that I don't know. I hope this sparked some interest in some of these books for you. I have lots of stuff that I need to get to, and every time I do one of these, it always reminds me how many books I haven't read. Last update, really quick, for those of you who like the three of you that would care, because I know this is more of a sci-fi fantasy channel, but me and Luke, my good friend who you've seen on the channel before, are starting Lonesome Dove, and it's a Western and not something that you would normally see on my channel, but one book that I've been anticipating for quite some time. So that just got started and will probably be taking up some of my reading time. So just be aware. Reviews will come in a little bit slower as I read this. But I'm trying to finish Case of Conscience. I'm trying to get into some like 200 and 300 page books. And I have some cool projects on the way, cool collaborations that'll be coming up hopefully in the next few months. And yeah, just a lot to look forward to as we hopefully get to spring. Like, when is the snow going to go away? um, anyway, I hope me being stuffed up wasn't too annoying to listen to, but you guys are the best. I appreciate all of you for watching, sticking around as long as you have. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.